Hello everyone, my name is Remy and this is my first ever YouTube video. I look very uncomfortable because usually I'm on the other side of the camera yelling at people and telling them what to do. Anyway, shout out to my friends Alex and Abby, both who kind of inspired me to start vlogging again. So today I'm here with a story. I'm going to be telling my coming out story. This is a huge part of who I am. It's one of my favorite stories to tell, and I think it really is a good icebreaker for this whole YouTube thing. Anyway, we're going to travel back in time to the mystical year of 2014. It was January 14th. I believe it was a Tuesday. Yeah, it was a Tuesday. Little 16-year-old me sitting around watching TV. I get a text from my girlfriend at the time being like, I just accidentally came out to my parents and it went really well. And I was like, maybe I should hop on this train and join the coming out party. And I did. I hopped in my car, drove to the grocery store. I was like, okay, I need to figure out a way to kind of soften the blow of this giant shock of my sexuality that was coming, because at the time I was super sure that I was really good at pretending to be straight. I wasn't. I thought I was. So I was like walking up and down these grocery aisles like, what can I do? How can I soften the blow? Can't buy like wine or anything like that. I can't like make things because I can burn water. And then in times of trouble, Donkey from Shrek came to me and said, cake. Everybody loves cake. So I mosey on down to the bakery aisle when I see this magnificent cookie cake with rainbow frosting staring at me from the display case. I was like, you're coming home with me. I pick up the cake, pick up some frosting. I'm like, let's do this, let's go. I go check out. It's like $24 for this stuff. I'm like, dang, cookie cake, you're expensive. I take my stuff, I go home. I'm set up in the kitchen, looking like I'm ready to hop out of MasterChef. Watch a lot of the Food Network. I'm like, I can decorate a cake. Cupcake Wars, I got this. So I cut a baggie, put the icing in. I thought this would go smoothly. It didn't. Icing went everywhere. It was all over me. It got on my dogs. It was on the floor. Not sure how, but it did. Anyway, I got it in the bag finally. Got enough to decorate. And I start looking at my cake. I'm like, okay, I got a pretty big cake here. I can do this. Let's figure out what we're going to do. I think about it. I'm like, I'm sarcastic. Let's make the cake sarcastic too. So I was going to put congratulations on your gay kid, all spelt out nice and pretty, and probably some, in my head I saw this really elegant cursive handwriting like what you see at the grocery store. And I'm like, I can do that, no problem. So I take my haphazard Ziploc bag of icing and start to write. Cursive doesn't turn out very well, but it's legible. I'm writing, I'm like, congratulations, I can spell CONGRAT. I run out of room. Across the top, no more room. I have CONGRAT. Not even congrats, just CONGRAT. Okay. 16-year-old me starts to panic a little bit, is like, okay, we're gonna roll with it. So I'm like, okay, congrat, whatever. Congrat on your gay child. Let's go. Next line, make the O way too big. Run out of room to put your, settle for text speak, and put you are, as in your. One haphazard mess after another. I eventually get congrat on your gay kid on this cake. It's not the nicest looking thing in the world, but it gets the message across. I set that out on the counter, make it look nice and pretty, write a nice little note being like, I know mom and dad, this may come as a shock to you, but your kid is gay. I try to clean up the icing. It's all over the dogs. The dogs kind of clean each other up. It's all over the counter. It's all over me. I leave the cake out, waiting for mom and dad to come home from a party. I'm quaking in my boots. I'm terrified of this, what could happen. So I'm like, okay, this is too much for my little gay heart. I'm going upstairs. I'm going to sleep. I crawl into my bed, start to get comfy when I hear the garage door open. I listen very closely, trying to hear the kitchen from downstairs, and I don't hear much until I start hearing like stomp, stomp, stomp coming up the stairs. And I live in the attic, so I can hear it right outside my door, and it's just stomp, stomp, stomp. The door opens, the lights turn on, my dad comes in completely like stoic face, and he just kind of looks at me and he just goes, thanks for the cake, before turning and leaving. Little me, curled up in bed, completely expecting the opposite reaction of this, was shocked, to say the least. Next, my mom comes in. Mom Mom and Dad had been at a party with my little brother, and they had some fun, a couple drinks, and my mom kind of rants about something for a little bit and then kind of leaves, and I was like, okay, I am going to assume she took that well. So following this example of my family taking it well, I went on Facebook to tell all my friends. I log into Facebook, look at the status bar, and it's, what's on your mind? I'm like, well, a lot of things. It's 2014 and our memes are subpar, so I type, first one to comment is gay. Post that. Quick as my little gay hands can take me. I click comment and write, hello friends, I have something to tell you. All my friends are super supportive. I get a lot of comments on it. And my sister, she doesn't live at home, and I was like, she didn't see the cake, and I was like, oh no, what's my sister gonna say? This is gonna be crazy. And she shares it and says, I'm pretty sure we all saw this coming. Let's be honest. I guess I'm not as good an actor as I thought I was. Here, I thought I was being completely straight my entire life, but I guess not. But anyway, as a filmmaker, this affects me because my sexuality affects me because it's a huge part of who I am. It's what I use to tell stories, and it's the reason I make a lot of movies. I tell the stories I want to see. Growing up, I had pretty much zero representation to go off of, and I was like, I want to kiss girls. Is that bad? It's always seen as either like, I knew the L word was on TV, but I wasn't allowed to watch it, so I assumed it was bad, and it's like, there needs to be positive representation for young, not only just young queer girls, but young queer boys and young queer non-gendered individuals, and that's my goal here, is to create the stories that represent all of us and not just a small fraction of the people that Hollywood seems to think we are. Thanks for watching. I will be putting up more videos, hopefully weekly. Stick around. All my social media will be somewhere in the bottom. Shout out to Nick for helping me with this, my boy. And go check out my other films on my channel. Bye, friends.
Oh, I just gotta grab my phone.
You're just grabbing your phone. Waiting for Nick to stop moving.
Oh, he's playing.
For the blooper reel.